up the atmosphere a little bit today. I'm going to start off with a little bit of humor. And of course, it's going to have to do with time. I'd like for everyone to know, what are the top 6 signs that you have been a consultant for a little too long? One of them would be to refer to the first of the month of your relationship, to the first month of your relationship as a diagnostic period, for example. Or if you talk to the waiter about process flow when dinner arrives late, for example. And here's a real good one. When you congratulate your parents for successful value creation, or you end an argument with, and this has happened to me, let's talk about this offline. Or you celebrate your anniversary by conducting a performance review. That's not a bad idea. And then this is my favorite. Valentine's Day cards include bullet points. So just keep that in mind. If you've used any of the above, you have been a consultant for way too long. So on a more serious note, Robert, are you able to see my screen?
I can see your screen, yes.
Okay, there's a window that just popped up. I'm not sure what it is. But as long as everyone can see it.
Okay, and I'll verify if your slides switch or change.
I should have the agenda screen on right now. Do you see that?
We do not. We see the main TBX front screen. It says TBX powered by SWK.
Sorry about that, everyone. Let me get back to a little bit technical difficulties here. Okay, how's that?
There we go. We see agenda now.
Okay, perfect. So let's go through the agenda briefly for today. I'd like to begin by sharing information with you about SWK and our proprietary enhancements. I will then provide you with a description of Time and Billing Exact and some of its most powerful features. We're going to briefly talk about who can benefit from Time and Billing Exact, which we call TBX, and the most common pain points. We will go through a quick review of the antiquated time solutions, such as the Standard Time and Billing Professional, and Timekeeper. And then we're going to jump right into the presentation. If time permits, we're going to try to take questions online. Otherwise, if you would please just type them in. If we're not able to address your questions during or right after the webinar, we will definitely contact you personally and answer any and all of your questions. So who is SWK? Ready for my quick commercial here? SWK is a Sage reseller and has been around since the late 80s. We are a gold certified Sage development partner, which permits us to use the Sage tool sets to create several Sage 100 enhancements, including Mapadoc integrated EDI. Our solutions have been in production for well over 16 years. We currently have over 1,000 installations of SWK enhancements, and this includes extended solutions. We have well over 600 Mapadoc EDI implementations nationwide, and a very capable and dedicated technical team supporting our customers and partners nationwide as well. By listening to you and understanding your unique business opportunities and challenges, SWK's team is able to develop and deliver effective solutions just right for you and your clients. In fact, as you can see on the screen, our company's mission statement is, and we take it very serious, to empower our clients and partners with knowledge, solutions, and tools for success. So what exactly is Time and Billing Exact, or TBX? Time and Billing Exact is a Windows-based application that allows for fast, accurate, and easy employee time tracking and billing. We all know effective time and expense tracking can make the difference between thriving and struggling. TBX eliminates frustratingly slow data entry and repetitive project management tasks with one-time input that integrates across your entire ERP system. TBX includes exceptional project management and reporting features such as easy time and expense entry with multi-level time tracking and the ability to upload or attach digital receipts. Yes, you are able to attach your digital receipts now. Home screen design, which shows only relevant information for users and tasks. Not to mention the fact that TBX also offers additional flexibility with the workflow module and automation. We offer customizable rates, which allow you to apply validation rules based on any combination of rate, task, client, and user. The billing process types include, but are not limited to, retainer, progress billing, etc. We also offer powerful drill-down capabilities, which will allow you to view and edit source data. You have the drag and drop report building, which makes your decision making easier and faster, and report customization. TBX and its in-depth database, highly customizable reports, and configurable reporting analytics provide administrators with instant understanding about the time and expense they or their employees spend on projects, as well as match their reports to their company's personality with unique colors and fonts. And not to mention the fact that you can actually set up a report for auto-delivery. Many file types are supported for export, including Word, Excel, PDF, etc. And we'll talk a little bit more about that during the presentation. I mentioned before we have a highly capable support team nationally available for customer care, and we keep you covered at all time zones. So what are some of the features? Let's talk about how we can help, how TBX helps. TBX helps organizations in every industry streamline time tracking and billing, as well as project management. Upon its official release, the new time and billing exact can be integrated with Sage 100 version 4.3 and above. It does require SQL Express, which is a free download, or SQL Server 2008 with Microsoft.NET version 4 or above. It will not take up your Sage user licenses. Let me repeat that. It will not take up your Sage user licenses. And when you purchase TBX, it includes 50 device licenses. TBX will allow integration with Sage 100 General Ledger, accounts receivable, or as an option, it will also allow invoicing through sales order. It also integrates with Time and Billing Professional, Timekeeper, and Sage CRM. The integration with Sage CRM initially will be one-directional, but we will be focusing on creating the bi-directional functionality during the second phase. Users will be permitted to run on a parallel instance. SWK will provide a migration and synchronization utility for this parallel instance. The migration utility will bring over accounts receivable customers as clients, time and billing, timekeeper, time and billing professional employees, engagements, projects, jobs, work codes, time and expense history, work in process, and employee billing rates. So you're not going to have to take the time to manually enter all of this data. TBX will also allow you to streamline time entry relative to tasks, support tickets from the engagement or client. TBX does more than just track time. It also includes exceptional project management features to run all of your business. Well, I should say your project management side of the business. Using TBX to record and organize billable and non-billable time provides a valuable database to monitor business productivity. An Audit Trail will allow you to track changes to time and expense entries with compliance-friendly automatic date and time stamping, so you will know exactly who's making what changes. We have the write up and down functionality, also reverse invoices, and of course that will help you with the sense list double entry. We also provide paperless office functionality, which will inherit from your existing core ERP system. With built-in business intelligence, you will be able to analyze your data in multiple dimensions, implement charting reports, etc. You're going to be able to monitor and manage your multiple projects by tracking the vital signs of your business. Spell check will be available throughout the system. That, I think, was written specifically for me, and this applies to all text entry screens. After its initial release, TBX will become ERP agnostic. We will be targeting integration with any ERP system that has a market. Here's something that's very important, and if anybody is not listening to me, pay really close attention, especially if you have an existing time solution from SWK. TTBX will be included as part of your maintenance plan. If you have an existing time and billing professional, or timekeeper enhancement, and you are current with your maintenance with SWK Technologies, you will receive TTBX software at no additional charge at all. It will be part of your maintenance. And I'm gonna put a contact screen at the very end of our presentation so that you can call with any questions regarding your maintenance. So who can benefit from TTBX? Basically, any company that bills clients for time-based projects or services and wants to increase information accuracy and reliability can benefit from Time and Billing Exact. This software is especially useful for consultants, law firms, CPAs, engineering firms, Sage channel partners, and many other businesses. So just keep in mind, if you're billing for your services, TTBX will definitely be able to help. What are some of the pain points? And I only listed a very few, but I know that there are many more out there, and if I try to list them all, it would take up my whole PowerPoint time. So I listed some of the most mentioned that we've had with the discovery calls so far when we speak with clients that are currently running the existing time solutions or trying to enter time using an Excel sheet or still have employees trying to keep track of time manually. You know that service companies often manage their business in silos with employees who sometimes still enter their time manually. Projects and financials are all managed in different systems. They struggle with diverse billing rates, various billing methods. Companies have little or no visibility into how employees are spending their time. This, of course, makes it very difficult to have operational and financial insight to remain competitive in an increasingly global landscape. In addition, billing clients quickly and effectively becomes not only problematic, but sometimes almost impossible. TTBX will not only solve the issues that I'm mentioning above, but it will also increase the accuracy and reliability of billing invoices. So keep that in mind. It's not just the time savings, it's peace of mind that the billing process is not going to be as cumbersome and will not require someone to babysit every single entry or every single document an employee is turning in. So a little bit about the antiquated time and billing solutions. What you see on the screen right now, beginning from the top left, is the time and expense entry screen from the standard time and billing. This is the oldest. The standard time and billing enhancement integrates with bank reconciliation, timekeeper, and general ledger only. It allows a very limiting 4-digit engagement code and has its own mini accounts receivable for invoicing. Absolutely no remote entry is available with the standard time and billing, and it takes up your Sage user licenses. The next screen to the right is the time and billing professional. So this is the upper right screen. It became a little better because now it would allow you to integrate with accounts receivable from Sage. It also would allow you to integrate with general ledger, accounts payable, timekeeper. The AR integration would allow you to keep receivables in one module, which was a huge advantage, in addition to providing for divisional accounting and cash flow analysis. Another thing that Time and Billing Professional made available was the 20-digit engagement code, which I know was something many of our users were requesting. But it would also take up your Sage user licenses, and again, you wouldn't have the ability to enter time remotely. Timekeeper, which are the two screens at the bottom. So the one on the left, bottom left, is the local timekeeper screen and the remote screen. And the lower right is the web entry screen. Notice how different they look. Timekeeper would integrate to the old time and billing and the time and billing professional. In addition, it would also allow you to integrate to job cost, payroll, and sales order, so you were able to bill for time as well as material. But again, if you were entering time using Timekeeper within Mass 90 or Sage 100, sorry, I have to put in a quarter now, it would take up your Sage user licenses, or you can allow your employees to enter time using the web entry screen, but it was very limiting. It would not take up your Sage user license, and it looked completely different to what you had within the local entry screen. So the issues with the solutions went from lack of paperless office functionality to lack of flexibility with reporting, not to mention security you weren't able to set security the way that you particularly wanted to set the security within your company, meaning that you wouldn't be able to limit certain employees to access specific clients or engagements or projects, and on and on. TBX addresses the limitations that were reported with the antiquated time solutions, and we've added much, much more functionality. Our first targeted audience will be clients who own or have ever owned these antiquated solutions. We really want them to get familiar with TBX and are 100% positive that they will decide to move to TBX. And for channel partners that are listening, anyone who had owned time slips in the past would definitely benefit from TBX as well. Okay, I hope my PowerPoint didn't torture everyone too much. We're going to jump into the presentation, and just bear with me a second while we switch presenters to Robert. Thank you, Adrian.
Can everyone see my screen?
We can see it.
Okay, excellent. All right, I'm just going to close out of this and start from scratch. So you're going to have a TBX icon on your screen. You double-click on it. You'll be prompted for a login, and we're going to log in as a basic user.
Now, the reason we like to show the basic user first is, think about it this way. The management team or the administrator has already predefined how the home screen should look for this basic user, what level of access this basic user should have, and meaning not to hold off on being able to access different engagements, different projects, different clients. So the management team has decided this is what they want the home screen for our basic user to look like, and this is the information the basic user will have access to. They have access to a home screen, and as you can see, we have several tabs. The first one is My Timesheets. The next would be My Engagements. So this is specific to this particular basic user. If you click on any of the engagements, notice how this basic user will have access to detailed information regarding any particular engagement that they were given access to. They also have access to the My Tasks. And this, in my case, we're going to just jump into the life of a basic user and assume this is the area where they prefer to enter their time. Notice how My Tasks is listing all of the tasks that they still have open, and to the right you'll see the different dates for the week. So everything is predefined and pre-filled in for them. All they have to do is enter the time spent on each project or each task. So I'm going to go ahead and enter some time. One of the things I'd like to mention as the time is being entered, and I'm cheating because Robert is actually the person entering the time, the fact that because it's a basic user, the screen is already preset. Keep in mind if there's information here that you would like to add for this basic user, it's definitely available. And we'll show you a little bit about it when we go into the administration screen. Robert is basically showing you the column chooser right now, where you could move the columns around or add columns as needed. Notice how he just added the dates created. Now he's able to do this because he was given permission to do so. I'm not saying that all basic users would be able to add the columns. They could move the columns around as needed or as they prefer. Notice how when they click on the start date, they have the calendar pop up for them as well. They're also able to create new tasks, and not only that, but the managers can preset the tasks for them, or other employees can assign a task to this particular employee. So let's see what it would take to create a new task for myself. Notice how we have a highlighted field in the area where we're actually creating the new task. We choose the engagement and work code that were already preset for us. And now all we have to do is enter the time units. Again, if we double-click into any one of these tasks, we will be able to see detailed information regarding any particular task. The information that you see on each screen is highly configurable, so you decide exactly what information you would like to give each particular employee. Notice how Robert was able to right-click and choose to customize this particular screen. Again, he's doing this because he was given permission to do so. Not every employee will have this access. Keep in mind, and I mentioned during our PowerPoint, that we do have an audit trail. So any changes that we're making, any additions, are being time-stamped and we can keep track of them. We're also able to view past task history, and if we have any assigned future tasks, we can move through the dates by using the next arrows above. We're going to go into My Time History now. Again, remember, these tabs are configurable. You can add the information that you want to give your employees access to. Notice how we're going to use the filters now to go through the different clients. There's a very high level of flexibility when it comes to filtering. You can have filters set up and keep them, or you can turn them off at your convenience. I'm able to just filter the different customers right now, the different engagements and work codes that are available, and key them in. This is another area where you would also be able to enter additional information regarding your time. And if you click on any existing time entry, you're also able to view the details. I keep pointing that out because it's very important for me to show you exactly where you are giving this particular basic user access to view the different detailed information. Notice how at the bottom of the screen it shows my audit trail, and it shows a lot of areas that indicate it was protected mode or protected content. That is basically indicating that I was not given permission to access these particular fields. We're going to go back to our home screen and just take a look at the My Schedule view now.
All right, just another thing that I wanted to add. Down here at the bottom, we also have the ability to do summations and aggregations, so we could do a count of the number of records that are in here. So I could very quickly go into and filter down on source and say, okay, here's all of my WIP that I have in the system. I currently have a total amount of that within WIP under work code 1. So actually I have a little more WIP if I get rid of that filter. There we go. So here's all of my WIP. I have 85 hours in there, 15 records, and a total sum of the extension as depicted here. This is a common feature across the system where you can do these aggregates at any grid table that you see in the system.
Thanks, Robert. And by the way, managers who have employees assigned to them are able to view this information just as easily as this employee is viewing their own information. So notice how we have the My Schedule view. Robert, I'm going to let you talk about this because I know you like to use the My Schedule view.
Okay. As a consultant and developer, I'm working on many different things at any given time, and the schedule feature really helps me keep and organize how much time I'm spending on a particular item. So throughout the day, I could potentially add in multiple appointments, and when I go to key in my time, all I need to do is code each of those appointments, and it will add up all the time for me. One of the views that I particularly like to work in is the week view. As you can see, we can navigate to different types of views. So there's month view, day view that we just saw, work week view, and we also have a timeline view. So scheduling capabilities are very strong in TBX. We can set appointments in the future. We can assign multiple employees to the appointments, and to key in time. Let me go to the week.
And if you're a manager, you're able to see in a calendar exactly what time is being scheduled by your employees. Again, I know I keep repeating this, but it's very important. Keep in mind, this is only if you set this employee up to have this type of entry.
So once you're in the appointment view, you can set the tasks that you're working on. This is designed to sort in priority order so that your top priority items come in. You simply specify the task, everything else defaults in, and it already aggregates the amount of time to an hour. I hit create time entry. Once that's done, and once everything is said and done, I'm going to see that time entry within my timesheets. So you could key your time directly into a calendar, which is a very helpful feature for me. And I know this is going to be a very powerful feature for a lot of other people, especially consultants.
Yes, and keep in mind a lot of the features, the new features that you're seeing now, have actually been requested by existing time and billing users. So thank you, Robert. Let's jump into my time summary. I just want to briefly show you this screen, and then we're going to jump into the administration screen. So notice how in my time summary we have, did you want to say something, Robert? You want to mention the information we're showing here?
Yeah, I should let you talk. You
Okay.
already know what I'm about to say.
Yes, we're going to hold off. Robert is dying to show you the reporting capability, but I'd like to show you, keep this screen in your mind, because we're going to jump into this screen and we are going to create some reports for you, and you'll see just how easy and how fast these reports can be created. Robert's already cheating and moving things around for me, but so can we go back to the My Tasks tab, Robert? This is the mental picture that I'd like you to just take a snapshot right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to log out and we're going to log in as administrators.
Okay. Just before we get into administrator, I notice I have the navigation pane open. The only item that a basic user has is the home screen. So to free up some screen real estate, we just simply need to hide that view, and this is the only screen that a basic employee is going to need. Just wanted to add that before we went into administrator. And the reason why we log into as administrator is to just give you a sense of all of the items within TBX.
Thanks, Robert. So a day-to-day employee, we would like to make their life as easy as possible by allowing them to get the information they require and enter their time as quickly as possible, so that we don't have to worry about them not reporting their time or taking too long to get it done. When they enter their time, we will have access to that information immediately, and we will be able to make decisions. So remember how that snapshot that I just mentioned you should keep looked. It was very simple. It had a home screen, and all we wanted to give them access to was time entry, information about their customers, information about their engagement, and their projects. End of story. With the administration screen, to begin with. Notice how the navigation screen includes several folders. So now we not only have the main folder with the home screen, but we have approval, billing, reimbursement, CRM, configuration, Sage 100, KPI, and on and on. All of these folders have information available to you so that when you set up your employees, your company, your engagements, you have that level of flexibility you're looking for to include the information that's specific to your company. So let's start by going into the, before we go and enter time as a manager, let's just look at the employee setup. So we have several employees that are already set up. And again, just as with any other screen within TBX, notice how I have information already preset, but now as administrator, if I right-click, I could add information to this screen or take away information from the screen using the customized layout. This is the reason we like to begin by showing you the basic screen, because once we jump into the administrative view, notice the level of flexibility that you have. And don't panic. The question with TBX is not, can it do this? It's, how do I get it to do this? And we're definitely there to help. So with the employee, notice how we have just the basic employee information above. You can assign this employee with a particular employee group and also assign a manager to the employee. When you're at the employee record, you're able to view any engagements that this employee is currently working with.
And to associate an employee with an engagement, you simply hit the link button there, and you select a range or use your control keys to multi-select items, and you hit OK, and you can see that now that employee is now associated with those engagements. So in the context of this, I'm a manager. I can associate this employee with these engagements so that when they log in, it's going to be super easy for that end user employee to key in their time. An employee is able to associate themselves with an engagement. However, it can be done by a manager as well.
Thank you, Robert. Notice how the tabs that we have on this screen are very similar to what the basic user had, with the difference that we've added the Rates tab. And I'd like to go into the Rates tab because one of the biggest requests we had with regards to time and billing professional, and timekeeper was to be able to assign multiple billing rates per employee. Robert has made it so that you can include an unlimited amount of billing rates per employee. If you click on one of these billing rates, you'll see the information that's available now per billing rate per employee. So we have it set for employee billing rate, and hours unit. You are also able to add other information per rate. But it's that simple. You can add as many employee rates as you need.
And a common feature of the system as well, if say you wanted to put in a billing rate for like help desk, for example, and it doesn't exist, we do have the capability of creating new records directly from these screens by using this new button down here. So now a screen pops up and we can give it the name help desk. And we'll set a default rate of $150. And Albert Einstein, he's a little bit smarter, so we're going to actually use 175 as the rate for help desk items. So now you can see that that's now listed. You can list as many bill rates as you need.
And while we're in the employee folder, the time analysis tab is also available within each employee folder. And again, I'm just going to hold off on that until the reporting part comes in because you're going to understand why when we get there. Let's go to the client information now in the navigation screen. Now you can, when you install TBX, I mentioned that you will be able to migrate your client information into TBX. And if you click on a client, I'd just like you to see the information that's available to you per client now. We do have the hold billing functionality. So say, for example, you have several consultants that are working on different projects with this client, but you want to have the ability to oversee and approve before anything is billed, then you're going to hold it, and you'll be the person to finally say, okay, it's ready to go. And notice how you can also include the reason code for holding the billing.
Yeah. This is actually a mandatory field. If it is put on hold, we need to have a reason why it's on hold. We ultimately want to communicate to other people that may be looking at the record as to why we have this on hold. And it's important to note it is the difference between hold billing and credit hold. Credit hold means that you have them on credit hold within your ERP system, and this alerts your end users don't do any activity on this client until they're off hold. Hold billing essentially means that you're not going to push the billing transactions, or you're not going to be able to inadvertently push billing transactions into invoices until it's taken off of hold. So that's an important distinction to make.
Absolutely. One of the other items that everyone had been requesting was the bill separate. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out, Robert. The bill separate comes in handy because you're able to bill separately per engagement or bill multiple engagements on one invoice. And speaking of invoices, notice how we have the invoice delivery. If you click on the drop-down, it'll show you the different options that are available. So you can have print only, print and email, or email only.
Right, so when we go through the print process, depending on the configuration here, you're going to get an automated email out to the client when that invoice is printed with that invoice as a PDF copy.
And you'll notice that I'm sorry, go ahead, Robert.
You also have the ability within TBX to denote different types of layouts based on the type of engagement that you have, so that you can select what the layout is going to be. If it's left empty, it's going to default to the stock invoice layout.
And just like all of the other screens that we've been looking at, you can configure the screen to show the information that you would like to see specifically regarding this client. All he's doing is right-clicking, and the additional information that's available for this particular screen pops up on the screen for him, so he can pick and choose what other items he would like to include on the screen. And notice how no matter which screen we go to, it's very similar. We have the tabs, we have the different grids. You can move the grids around. The tabs that we're showing, completely configurable. You can include only the tabs that you would like to see on a daily basis. You can organize them depending on the order in which you like to see the tabs on a daily basis as well. And per client, you can see the tabs that we have above are very similar to the ones that we had with our employees as far as engagements. Now you can see engagements by client. You can see time detailed by client, scheduled events by client.
Just an important note on the schedule. The scheduled appointments are interrelated with the client record. So if I, as an employee, set an appointment on my calendar for the future to work on a particular client and a particular engagement, when I'm referencing the client schedule, I'm going to see all of the appointments for all employees relative to that client.
The time analysis is all. Thank you, Robert. The time analysis, similar to what you've been seeing on the other screens. The addresses, I think with this one, you're able to assign the different ship tos.
Yes. So we do have the option of setting a ship to and bill to on the engagement level with engagements within TBX. That was a feature that did not exist within the original product.
Now notice we have a change history tab. This we had not seen in the other screens that we've been showing, and this is where we're showing the audit trail per customer or per client. And again, the different grids that you see above, you can add or take away depending on the information that you would like to view. We also have the work codes per client, and we'll jump into the work codes a little bit to show you the detailed information when it pertains to work codes.
So the way that this works is when you specify work codes within this list, when you key in time for that particular client, you're only going to be able to use the work codes that are in this list. If this list is left empty, you're able to use any work code that's in the system.
And then finally, for this particular client or in the client field, we have the billing entries. Remember, you can add tabs as needed as well for information that may be required for your company.
And this is a list of all of the invoices that have been sent into the ERP system, and you could double-click into these to reference information on those invoices.
You could also right-click on the screen and export to Excel.
Yes, you can. Time details is a good context for that. So just to demonstrate that, we're going to do an export to.
And notice there's different
Excel
formats.
file.
I said Excel, but there's others.
Yeah.
The terminology can be configured throughout the system as well. So we've run into this in the past where, for example, a law firm will call an engagement a matter instead of an engagement or an activity. That can be changed and it'll flow throughout the system. I mentioned that we have spell check throughout the system as well to the very line detail level. So anytime, and it'll happen soon enough for us, where we misspell something, I told Robert, he definitely wrote that for me, it'll underline it for you and suggest the correct spelling. We can, if you want, just leave that for the end, Robert. We'll show the reports at the end anyway.
Okay.
So we saw a little bit about the employee. We entered time as a basic user, and now what we're going to do is, as a manager, we're going to go and approve the time. Now remember, the manager is also able to enter time as needed or assign tasks to employees as needed. At this moment, what we're going to do is take the time that was entered a few minutes ago, and we're going to go ahead and approve it so that we can bill it right after. And you'll be able to see the billing process that takes place from TBX all the way through to Sage 100 and back to TBX.
Okay, so notice on my home screen, Joe Smith is a manager and he's able to approve time. He's only going to see the time that is applicable to him that he needs to approve. So we're separating out the transactions that need to be addressed by each manager. In the event that Joe Smith is out for the week, you could still go to the global area, approvals needed, and approve virtually any of the time in the system on behalf of Joe. So approval of time is just a simple matter of selecting what you're going to approve, and you're going to just check the approve box up here, and that's going to now move that into work in process.
And we're going to fly through this because we have only about 15 minutes, and the star of the show, I would say, it is always my favorite, would be the reporting capabilities. So we're going to go ahead and approve it and then quickly go through billing.
So billing's the same thing. Essentially, this is your WIP. You're going to use the bill button to push those into what's called an invoice queue. So those invoice queues are being built at this point.
As the invoice queue is being created or built, I do want to talk about the fact that we also offer validation. So if Robert was doing anything wrong right now, you would get a validation message letting you know exactly what was happening so that you can go back and make the correction.
All right, so we're now within our invoice queue menu. These are pretty much invoices before they've become invoices within an ERP system. So this is pretty much your point of no return to make any final adjustments. So if I needed to do a write up, write down, okay, we're actually going to charge $150 here. I'm able to make those changes directly to the invoice queue before it becomes an invoice. And notice we are tracking our write-ups, write-downs along with this. So once that's all set, we can hit the Create Invoices in Sage 100 button, and that's going to send that into the ERP system. We have a quick link directly into invoice entry into Sage 100, and that brings up a dialog with the screen that you're all familiar with. You might be familiar with sales order invoice data entry, which we do also import to. And as you can see, our invoice that we just sent down is in here. So now it's just a matter of posting the registers so that we get those all of the accounting features of the ERP to engage.
And this part, from this point forward, would be your standard Sage process when it comes to posting. We all know it's a very lengthy process, but we wanted to go through the entire process with you so that you can get a feel for exactly how TBX is affecting your Sage 100 system and how that information would also flow back into TBX. One of the things I'd like to mention, the automated functions that TBX provides, especially when it comes to your business requirements or repetitive tasks. For example, you can automate the report delivery, as we mentioned at the beginning. There are reports that you would like to print out on a daily or weekly basis, and for that we have the workflow functionality where you can actually schedule the delivery of each individual report and schedule who these reports should be delivered to. So if my boss is asking me for a Friday report, without fail, I would set it up so that it would automatically be delivered without question, and my boss would have that report every Friday without fail. We're going to go ahead and save these changes, and
notice the invoice that we sent down to the ERP system is no longer referenced in the queue. Now, if you do have multiple invoices in the queue, it works very much like you can with your billing approval and your the approval process, where you could select multiple records, hit the button to create the invoices, and it's sent down, post your register, and you're done.
You're done, but if you have someone that made a mistake, and we're not going to go through this because we'd have to post again, but just so you know, we also have invoice reversal. So you don't have to go through the whole credit memo process. You can actually just reverse the invoice within TBX, and TBX will actually create the credit memo for you within Sage 100. So you don't have to double enter anything. And instead of jumping into that, though, I just wanted to mention it. Now would be the time to go into reporting, and I'm going to go ahead and switch presenters back to me so we can show you the reporting capabilities. And bear with me, let's see. Can you see my screen, Robert?
Yes.
Okay.
And the reason why we're using Patty's instance is she's got a lot more history where you're going to be able to see the context of the business intelligence reporting better with more data to look at.
Anyone who has ever worked with Crystal will understand why I left this for the end. Can you see my screen, Robert?
Yes.
Okay. So now we can go into the time analysis anywhere you'd like. And now we can go ahead and show the functionality with regards to the pivot tables.
Do you want to give me control?
Oh, absolutely. Sorry about that. There we go.
Okay, very good.
So I logged in as administrator, and notice how I had the same tabs as Robert and my time summary, which was available in the different areas throughout the presentation.
So my time summary is the default is geared towards giving you a heads up as to I got an 8-hour day in, and also gives you the ability to pivot things out. So if you've ever worked with Microsoft Excel pivot tables, you're going to be right at home and be delighted with the features of these pivot tables. To generate ad hoc reports, I'm able to very quickly drag and drop columns into appropriate places to get different types of reporting information. If I want to split out by year, I can bring year out. I have a bunch of stuff in there for 1998. This is actually an import of the time and billing professional data. So that's why we see some of those old dates, and anything that's been keyed in that's new has got a new date. So if I want to get a quick report as to how much time I've spent on each client and what type of work I've spent, I just quickly filter down on just 2014, and now I have a report of all of the time that I've spent on anything for 2014. I can very quickly bring in source information so that I could see, okay, what do I have, what do I have in WIP, so I could very quickly and easily get down to just a WIP report and what I have in WIP for particular clients. And this feature is common across the entire system, where we have these pivot tables set for you at the employee level, which is very...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, as we mentioned throughout the system, if there are any fields that you do not need while you're at this screen, you can definitely remove them. Or if you're looking for more information, you can also add additional fields.
So these are all of the fields that are ready to be dropped into the pivot table. In the event that you don't have the field that you're looking for, you have this invoke wizard that brings you through a pivot table creation wizard that will allow you to pretty much drop any fields that you need in place. We also have the ability to show charts. And if we highlight areas, we can see some pretty charts here. And we also have a wizard on the charts as well. And notice you do not have any shortage of options in terms of the charting capabilities. And this is going to come into play when you build your dashboards. All right, so these pivot tables you're going to see across the system. You're going to find them on the employee record. You're going to find them on the client record. You're going to find them on the engagement record, the work code record, and the department record. Now, in the event that you want to pivot your time data or any data within the TBX system, we have the reports menu in here. Hey, Patty, I lost control.
Try it again. No?
Yeah, go ahead and click on reports. right where you were before. Yeah, click on that. That analysis option up there, that allows you to build custom pivot tables, essentially on any data in the TBX system. Most commonly, you're going to be using time data. You might want to say, okay, I want to have all data that's billed within last quarter, or something like that. You specify the criteria of that chart, and Patty, can you try to give me control again?
Try it now.
All right, looks like I got it. Okay. So I'm going to hit the bind analysis button there, and that brings up a pre-configured pivot table. So this here is a very powerful reporting option. Now, you're always going to have the need to get a report onto a piece of paper, and this is what the reports module is designed to do. You're able to create reports from scratch, and you have a full featured report designer with TBX, or you can build the reports or view reports directly from the screen. What we also have in here is this in-place report feature. Now what that does is if you're like anybody else that uses Crystal reports on a regular basis, you're constantly having to key in those parameters to get to the report that you need. If I want to get to this report quickly and easily, I just simply select an employee or employees plural, and then invoke the show in reports feature, and we're able to generate a report based on only the selected items. So this makes it so that you don't have to finagle with your parameters on a regular basis. You can put that right onto the screen and very quickly and easily drill into that report, and that's the that is the in-place report feature.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this is the reason we hold the reporting to the very end. It's so simple and user-friendly. I have always struggled with Crystal, and now I'm able to create my own reports without a problem at all. In addition to the items that you see on the screen, just as in any other field within TBX, notice how you're able to invoke the report designer and add additional fields and information as required. So with that, we're down to 1 minute before we end, and I really wanted to take questions.
Yeah, an hour's never long enough. There's a lot of powerful features in TBX, and we never quite get to the questions, do we, Patty?
Not at all, but I'm going to go ahead and put our contact information on the screen. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to send me an email or call, and I will definitely be happy to get back to you with answers. On the screen right now, you see the additional enhancements that SWK offers. I won't read them off. Most of you are familiar with them. And then, of course, keep in mind we also offer Mapadoc for EDI. Our user conference is going to happen October 7th through 9th in Los Angeles. And there's our contact information. If you'd like to keep it handy, send us your questions. I'd like to thank everyone for your time. I don't want to keep anyone longer than you should have to stay or after the hour, but there is much more information that we would love to share with you. So if anyone would like to send us the questions, we'll definitely get back to you. I know that, Adrian, you wanted to go ahead and launch a poll.
I have. Thank you so much, Patty. And I just want to let the audience know that we will be back in touch with you to answer all your questions. I am sending Patty's contact information via email as a follow-up along with the recorded presentation. And thank you so much for joining us today. If you can, just take a moment to answer this last poll. That would be great. Are you interested in learning more? Yes or no? And once again, thanks for spending this hour with us today. And Patty, Robert, great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Adrian, and thank you, Robert. Everyone have a great afternoon. We look forward to hearing back from you. Thanks again, and we'll be in touch. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
And we do have 53% of you who have voted, so I'm going to hang on here until we get some more votes. And everybody have a wonderful holiday if we don't get to chat beforehand.
Thank you very much, Adrian, and the same to you and everyone else.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Same here, everyone. Goodbye now.
Thank you. 100% voted. Take care. Bye-bye.